specifically in terms of exposure, I've been calculating these rebreathe fractions. So a rebreathe fraction is essentially, it's a function of the indoor carbon dioxide concentration as well as the concentration of carbon dioxide on your breath, which is around 36,000 ppm of CO2, as well as the outdoor concentration of carbon dioxide, which is around 400. And so the rebreathe fraction can be used as a proxy to understanding airborne infectious disease transmission, which is what I'm trying to characterize within the schools. So if I were to say the rebreathe fraction is 0.028, it means that 2.8% of the room contains exhaled breath. So that is something that I'm looking at, trying to characterize that in our portable classrooms as well as our permanent classrooms, as well as looking at the carbon dioxide concentrations to calculate ventilation rates to see if they are actually providing adequate ventilation rates given the number of students in the classrooms and the area of the space. And that's based on standards and building codes. And so we found that for some of the portable classrooms as well as permanent classrooms that they're not actually adequately ventilated.
Portable classrooms are, they're also called T buildings or temporary buildings. There's nothing temporary about them. School districts have been kind of forced to use these classrooms because they're able to add classroom space and take it away rather quickly. So in general, one of the findings is if you look at some of the general metrics with regard to indoor air quality in these portables, they're not as bad as one would expect, looking at sometimes the condition of some of these things that are 40 or 50 years old and were meant to be temporary. However, there is ventilation issues, there are maintenance issues. They're very hard, I think, for the staff to maintain and simultaneously provide fresh outdoor air in a way that gives good indoor air quality but also controls the ventilation. So they're leaky, and where the air is being drawn through in these different spaces is a concern. Also leakage, some of them have open attics, and the school districts the facility folks have to work really hard to keep any of critters and other things, undesirables, from entering the plenum space in the attics of these portable classrooms, and the same thing with the crawl spaces. So they have to work pretty hard to maintain these buildings in a way to protect the indoor environment. And so I think another kind of takeaway is to look at these portable classrooms and try to figure out, how can we make sure that they are protecting the students within, given that they weren't intended to be used for 20, 30 years, and they're sitting out in the heat here in the in central Texas and beyond. What can we do to make sure that we're protecting the students that occupy these classrooms?
So, once again, to summarize, the two most important things for school boards are to develop policies that help support their primary academic mission, and they look for these inadvertent or unexpected problems that may create situations that adversely affect the learning of children.
For more information on the results of the study, go to healthychildrennow.org.